All right, to continue working on our dragon eye, first we have to bring up what we were working on before. So I'm going to go up here to this little folder with a paper sticking out that says Import Images. When I click on it, it brings up everything that I had been working on. So first I'll just make sure I go to Downloads, this little blue arrow. And if I don't see this in picture form, it's really tough to find. So what I like to do is go up here to this upside down triangle and then click on Large Icons. Once I do that, I can see little pictures of what it is I was working on. So once I do that, I can find the picture that I have been working on here, import it as an image, and then I can continue to work. Now, in order to find the same color that I used last time, I'm going to right-click on the skin. So right now the color is black, but watch what happens when I right-click on the screen. It changes to the color that I was using before. So once I have the same color, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to move this down so that my color becomes a darker red than what I had before. And then I'm just going to change the size to about 9, and it doesn't need to be perfect. If it's close to 9, that's okay. And then the very first thing I'm going to do is outline my eye. So I'm going to slowly trace around my eye like this. Now, every once in a while I'm going to stop because if I go all the way around and make a mistake here, I don't want to have to start over again. So I'm going to go around right here and make sure that I'm staying really close to my eye so that you can't see a little bit of green or red popping through anywhere. And again, every once in a while I stop just to make sure that I'm not going to lose any good progress that I made if I make a mistake. And I don't need to be perfect here because Kalecki is a very hard tool to use. Okay, once I've outlined the whole thing, I'm going to put a few wrinkles around the eye. So what I'm going to do first is just trace around the eye. And this doesn't need to be perfect, but I'm going to follow the same contours of the eye that I already have there. And then I'm also going to go around the bottom half here. Now, if I wanted to, I could also add a few wrinkles around the bottom of my eye, kind of like this. I could add 1 or 2 or not have any. It's sort of up to you. Now for this step, you can sort of make it however you want to. I like to put a few spikes on top of the eye. So I'm going to make them get progressively larger the farther away or the farther along I get. Kind of like that. Got to be careful. Okay. And then my biggest one is going to be right at the end. And then once I have this, I can start to add the scales. Now you can choose how you'd like to make your scales, but a really easy way that I like to do it is just sort of make loops around the eye. So maybe I'll go here and go around the eye and stop up here. And then the only thing I really have to do is separate it into different sections. So I'm just going to put lines through it, and all of these little lines are going to point towards the eye. So I'm going to do that all the way around. And then where I get to the end of these wrinkles, I might just make my own little squares like this, so that they become scales too. And they don't need to be an exact shape here. And then I'm just going to keep doing the same thing around the eye in a pattern until the whole background is covered with my scales here. And I kind of like it when they don't match up. So this line's not right next to this one. It's sort of in the middle, kind of like bricks. And then continue over here. And go around my eye here. All right, and whenever you finish with this step and making all of your scales, you want to make sure that you come up here to the top and make sure that you save your picture. You don't want to lose your hard work. So that little blue arrow that points to the blue line, you want to make sure that you click it so that you don't lose your work.